Hello, friends. It's Sam Chaney reporting for Weaponized News. Today, April 29th, 2026. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition. We have Ruckus on the line. He had to reset, though, I think his machine, but he will be joining us, hopefully. We just had him on the line. All right, what do we got today? The hook for the show. A little bit more follow-up on Jimmy Savile's best friend visiting the White House yesterday. Somehow, some way, MAGA's cheering on redcoats marching on the White House lawn. Like, they've lost the whole plot here. Seriously. We'll take some more looks and get Ruckus' take on some of that heavy occult symbolism they were dropping all over the place yesterday at the White House. Jimmy Savile best friend meeting that they had with Trump. So, Iran war, day 61. It looks like a stalemate at this point. Nobody's budging. Trump says he's not. The naval blockade will continue. Iran says whoop-de-doo, but then there's a bunch of talk. Both sides may go in heavy. So, everybody's finger's still on the trigger, man. It's an extremely tense situation. And the White House is acting like, oh, yeah, no big deal. We already won the war 61 times. Not so much. We got a lot of this coverage for you today. We've got Department of Energy Secretary Chris Wright saying that, yeah, we're doing it. We're not doing it just for America. We're doing it for the world, you see, because the Constitution says we're the world's police. Obviously, that's why we'd be doing it. So a little here and there from what do you do with a drunken Hegseth? He had some testimonies today as they're trying to get this $1.5 trillion military budget passed. We'll cover that. We got economic news. We have more Epstein news as per usual here now. We found two more Trump administration that are on the Epstein that we didn't even, there's so many of them, right? But I was using AI and other people were, and two slipped through the cracks to show you how accurate AI is. Anyway, we found two more and we'll name them as well today. And this creepy, one of them we found, I'll tell you right now, Ben Black. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ben Black, but a commenter on our X. I was not familiar with Ben Black. And so we're going to take a look at Ben Black and what's going on at the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. It's straight up racketeering, and we'll show you that. What else do we got? We got other geopolitical news. They're demolitioning Lebanon. And Trump tells his the shadow president of America, Bibi, to lay off, because Bibi's posting videos of them leveling residential neighborhoods, and Trump's like, you should probably lay off on that. You know what I mean? They don't care. They're proud. They're proud of their genocide. So the genocide in Gaza continues, and it's just quite horrific. And hey, we'll ask Ruckus if we should just start whacking all the nuns, because the ultra-Zionist settlers over there in the occupied Jerusalem, they beat the hell out of a nun. And so she probably deserved it for being a nun. But we'll take a look at that as well. They killed this little 3-year-old girl there in southern Lebanon. That is your favorite, the most moral army in the world per Bibi, the IDF. And so it's all quite horrific here as the carnage continues on day 61 of the Iran war. Let's take a look at this day in history. I cut it short today because I knew that we would have Ruckus on the line. I want to bring him on as quick as possible, so let's get right to it. On this April 29th, going back to the year 1872 on this day, and I do like me some bank robberies for whatever reason. I guess Hollywood has romanticized it to the point that I do enjoy the old time bank robbers. Anyhow, 1872 on this day, Jesse Jackson gang robs a bank of $1,500 in Columbus, Kentucky, killing bank employee Robert A.C. Martin during the crime. I don't particularly like the killing of the bank employees, but I do like the idea of robbing the banks. But once they start killing the employees, then it's a little bit too extreme for my taste. 1886, on this day, we saw the first public electricity service begin in the Netherlands, 1886. Then we fast forward all the way to 1945. Conscientious objector Desmond Doss saves 75 wounded soldiers in the Battle of Okinawa at Hacksaw Ridge, later depicted in the Oscar-winning film Hacksaw Ridge with didn't that have old Clint Eastwood in it? I think it did. Maybe it didn't. I think it did, though. Anyhow, quite a heroic feat there. 1945, Hacksaw Ridge. 1953, on this day, we saw the first experimental 3D television broadcast. 1953 shows an episode of Space Patrol on Los Angeles ABC affiliate KECA TV. Keep that in mind as they're announcing they're going to do UFO disclosure. What kind of PSYOP Project Bluebeam are they going to roll out? They're doing 3D TV in 1953. 1970, on this day, Charles McMahon and Darwin Judge are the last two U.S. soldiers to be killed in the Vietnam War. Sadly enough, over 58,000 Americans died in the Vietnam War, started by a false flag. The Gulf of Tonkin second incident quite literally never happened. It was made up. And also, on this day in 1975, we saw the fall of Saigon. The United States begins to evacuate its citizens from Saigon in Operation Frequent Wind in response to advancing North Vietnamese forces, bringing an end to U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. Thank God. 1986, on this day, 800,000 books were destroyed when a fire hit Los Angeles Central Library. And so that's good. We got rid of all those conspiracy theories in books, because reading is a conspiracy theory, right? 1991, on this day, cyclone strikes Chittagong district in Bangladesh, killing 139,000 people and leaving 10 million people homeless. Quite a natural disaster there on this day in 1991. And then finally, in 1992, on this day, the Rodney King riots. Jury acquits Los Angeles Police Department officers on charges of excessive force in the beating of Rodney King. The decision sparks massive riots in the city. Can't we just all get along? Damage in Los Angeles after the riots, which killed 63 people and caused an estimated property damage of over $1 billion. And so it was all worth it to let those dirty cops off, I'm sure, because Rodney King had it coming, right? Sure he did. All right. And then a little bit more details here about the Rodney King riots in LA. In our civil liberties history, on this day in 1992, Los Angeles erupts in 6 days of violent riots following the acquittal of 4 Los Angeles police officers charged with beating Rodney King on March 3rd, 1991. The riots left how many people? We had different reports of deaths. This one said 63. This other one said 54. Anyhow, Quite a few people died there as a result. The 4 officers were later charged with federal civil rights criminal violations. 2 were found guilty and 2 were acquitted in April of 1993. King was an African American, and the beating was captured on a home video by George Holliday, who lived across the street. The beating sparked national and international rage and increased the drive for greater police accountability. One direct result of the King beating was enhancement of Section 14141 of the 1994 Violent Crime Control Act, enacted on September 13, 1994, which gave the Justice Department authority to investigate local police departments for a pattern or practice of violating people's rights, and to obtain a judicially enforced consent decree mandating a wide range of reforms. The first investigation and consent decree mandating reforms to curb police abuse involved the Pittsburgh police. Mac, shout out to Mac. I believe he's in Pittsburgh over there. If you remember this case, if you were there at that time, Pittsburgh Police Department on April 16, 1997. One of the most famous cases involved a federal consent decree over the Ferguson, Missouri Police Department following the fatal shooting of Michael Brown and the protests and violence that followed. They can't kill us all, they said. They can't kill us all. All right. And then on to, here's our segue to the news. Truly disgusting, but MAGA loves, just, they love it. So here's Trump praising Jimmy Savile's best friend. I'm throwing up in my mouth, actually, but here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I offer a toast to 250 years of American freedom, and very importantly, to a great man, His Majesty, King Charles III. Thank you very much.
Truly disgusting. Cheers to Jimmy Savile's best friend. How you doing there, Ruckus, on this Wednesday?
What year is it? What planet? What country is this? I'm so confused. I only take comfort noticing that it took them a minute to start clapping. It wasn't like most things that Trump does. As soon as he says it, everyone's like, yeah, woo. And they were like, people were completely silent. And then a couple people started clapping, and then the rest of them started clapping. And I was like, yeah, like none of you should be clapping. It's the most like out of touch thing I think I've possibly ever seen. He literally says, congratulations to the United States of America. 250 years ago, we won our independence from Great Britain. But hey, cheers to Great Britain. And here he is. Toast to you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's very, very awkward, almost as awkward as the king arriving in America at a time when there are numerous people out there protesting with signs that literally say no kings. I sure hope he wasn't thinking that we were talking about him, because technically we weren't, but you know, maybe we should have more of the no kings kind of a I don't know, attitude towards this type of thing, being America and all that, since you know we don't do the kings thing here. And then as
we do, MAGA worships Trump as a king.
And then, as you pointed out, of course, the Jimmy Savile thing is what truly makes it disgusting. And then, of course, never mind.
And his brother, Prince William, or formerly known as Prince William, as well.
Andrew,
yeah,
right.
There you go, Andrew.
Right. Or well, I don't know how all this works, but they're all scumbags. They're all losers. And yeah, this is why we don't do kings. But it, like it matters, because technically we wound up with something very much similar, if not possibly even related to the same people, right?
No, they're all, Trump bragged yesterday, they're related.
Cool.
They're all part of the same bloodline. And so Trump is
good for them.
Trump's part of the royal bloodline. He bragged about it yesterday. They're all inbred degenerate scum. Here's yesterday, redcoats literally marching on the White House lawn, and we're supposed to clap over this shit. It's just so disgusting. There you go. Oh, it's wonderful. Look. What do you think of that?
Granted, I mean, obviously, we're not like mortal enemies. But how and when did that happen, by the way? That's something I never truly explored for myself, because I do know that after this country was founded, not long into its existence, there was, a bit of a conspiracy that took place where Great Britain funded a group or an organization or a foreign country or somebody. They attacked the White House and burned it down or something, if I'm not mistaken, or the Capitol building. So yeah, I mean, they held some sort of animosity towards us at some point, but at what point did we all let that go and we decided that we have this special relationship with Great Britain? I'm curious.
The UK ambassador to America said the special relationship is actually with Aardvarkland, to clarify yesterday. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was the next shoe to drop too, because I was like, how long before that narrative changes? But until then, it always was throughout my lifetime that Great Britain was our best buddy, right?
No, it's now Aardvarkland is our special friend.
You know what? With friends like these, right? Who? Oh, geez.
I'm just searching right now so we can get the exact. I know the incident you're talking about when they. Quite literally, I think it was the War of 1812, wasn't it? When they,
there, yeah,
1814, so. Part of the UK, our best friends, literally burned down the White House in 1814, part of the War of 1812. So yeah, we love it. Trump loves it. You know what I mean? And they're not even British. It's just they're all frauds. I mean, they're frauds, and so Trump's a fraud. The Jimmy Savelle's best friend there is a fraud. Mr. Sausage Fingers, he's not even English. I mean, it's just they thrive on the con. Their method of operation is conology. So I don't even think they can tell the truth. You know what I mean?
But let's not forget, kids, Great Britain is our friend. Aardvarkland is our friend. Yet China, North Korea, and Iran, all of which have never physically came here and attacked the United States of America, are the enemy, mortal enemies. And if they could, they would, Sam. They would wipe us off the planet just because they're that evil.
Yeah, well, my TV told me that, so I guess so, right?
Sounds good.
What do you make? What do you make of all that bee symbolism yesterday? Right? Because here's
goodness,
Trump posted this, and I know you dabble a little bit in occult symbolism. What do you make of this? The beekeeper, and then the White House made this fake. See, another fake, right? Another fake, but they cooked up this. Obviously AI, a movie poster, Donald J. Trump, the beekeeper. And then they showed off the bee house that was a little mini model of the White House. And they were showing that off to Jimmy Savelle's best friend. What do you make of all this symbolism?
It's bad enough that they do the things like the showing off of the beehive in the White House garden or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the king of all people. The entire thing is obviously Freemasonic, but putting that in context with the attempted earlobe number 3 or 4 or 5, I've lost count now, allegedly, which is now apparently, from all accounts, a sell pitch for the stronger security, specifically building this White House ballroom, which just coincidentally the floor plans for the bunker underneath happens to match Solomon's Temple, which just coincidentally happens to coincide with Donald Trump reading from the Bible verse about the dedication of the temple, and then you realize, oh, hey, wait a minute, isn't that kind of weird? Aren't those Freemasons who are into the beast stuff? Aren't they also into this whole Solomon's temple thing? Wait a minute, who's building this thing? Yeah, there's just way too much of this stuff. So like for them to do that was bad enough to just do the B thing, and then now what you just showed, I'm like, why do they lean into it? Like they clearly
They're mocking
know
us.
what they're
It's
doing.
part of the ritual.
Yes.
It's part of the
It's a
ritual.
troll of some sort. They're like, it's like a new form of it too. Like that wouldn't fly. Like if they did that like last administration, nobody would get it. Like even the conspiracy theorists they'd probably like be way over their head, right? But now it's like they want everybody to know. It's really in your face, and it's very concerning, I guess. It's so different. It's so different. I'm used to these things being like a secret, and now it's just like, yeah, here we are. Hey, how's it going? Hey, we're gonna tweet this too, by the way. Have a nice day. Thank you for your attention to this. What does he always say? Thank you for your attention. They're telling you they want your attention on all of this stuff. It's just wild to me. I just can't understand the why, Sam.
They're clearly mocking us. I'm sure there's more. Well, I believe they believe they're getting power out of doing these rituals publicly for the world to see. And I guess they are. They're in charge, right? So something's.
Well, maybe there is something to that, the attention to it, the fact that people are paying attention to it. Like one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons was actually one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes, so it was one of the mini vignettes instead of that episode. But it was the one where the billboards come to life and start terrorizing the town. And Lisa Simpson comes up with this great idea and hires the jingle guy to sing a song, just don't look. And everybody stops paying attention and the monsters die and they go away. I feel the same way about these monsters. If we all just stopped paying attention, if we all stopped rage baiting each other and sharing the doom porn on the scroll feed machines on our Black devices and social media, there's a good chance that all of this just would disappear, right?
That's a good point. Here's Bardo on the Rumble said, Hugh Grant, the actor, said on the 4th of July, the English mourn the loss of the colonies. Yeah, I bet they do. Check out more occult symbolism today. This is looking like the Saturn hat here now. As they're telling us, Trump and his whole crew are high up dark occultists casting spells on you. And so there you go, Ruckus. Like you said, if you give it no attention and tell them no, then they don't have the power. But check out this. Posted today by the White House. Look at all this. The Saturn hat, and then, of course, the Shalong there in the distance. You can see the Washington Monument obelisk there. And the caption was timeless.
Of course it was.
So
there's a lot of these weird conspiracy theorists right now going around talking about time travel stuff. So I'm not the least bit. Again, they're just trolling everybody. They're leaning into all of the weird stuff.
And they're still trying to run Q psyops as well and trying to say, oh, you just don't understand. No, we do understand. You guys are con artist liars, okay? And it's that simple. And just cut all the bullshit. Next up here. Our friend Cheney Project. We got 333. Check out this one. Trump was gifted by Jimmy Savile's best friend this bell. Charles gifted Trump this bell from HMS Trump P333 British Royal Navy submarine and blueprints to the desk, to the Resolute desk there. And so he was gifted that bell again from P333. And then he was gifted the blueprints and it was from this British submarine is where that bell was from. And he was gifted the blueprints, I believe it was from like 1870 something for, I guess Trump's going to build a new Resolute desk, or at least he has the blueprints to build a Resolute desk gifted to him by Jimmy Savile's best friend yesterday. What do we make of all that? Anything?
The bell does have, well, the bell has a lot of meaning in a lot of different things, but in Freemasonry specifically, they use that during ceremonies, and it denotes midnight, basically. It's like the tolling of the bell, the clock striking 12, the low 12 in the third degree ritual, and it does involve specifically the story. This is crazy. You can't make this stuff up. It's based on the story of Hiram Abiff, who of course was the dude who was building the Solomon's Temple and was murdered, and you can't get much more Masonic than all of this stuff right here. And then, of course, a bell, of course, is symbolizing a warning, a transition, all of this stuff. I mean, it's just got too many symbols for me, but I'm sticking with this is all a Freemasonic ritual symbolism thing. So I'm going to have to watch whatever the king said while he was here. I've already caught a few bits and pieces, so I'm already venturing to guess that we're heading towards a 2020 kind of scenario again, but probably in the name of climate and energy shortages is my guess. Sam?
Take a look. Trump, 1944. Where's all the time travelers? But it does all tie together there because they're all related. They're part of the same bloodline. They're now, Trump admitted it, bragged about it yesterday, making jokes about it. No, you're all inbred, degenerate scum who they should all actually be in prison for life for all the crimes they've committed, not be praised by society. Maybe someday, some way, we'll have enough people see them, put on the glasses, man. They live and see them for who they really are. The royal family yesterday here, Ruckus, went and paid their tribute at the another occult ceremony here. They went and paid their tribute at the 9/11 memorial there in New York. Let's take a look at this. And so all kind of more occult symbolism here. There you go. There you go. It's also wonderful.
And we already know, in case you didn't know, all the symbolism involving two pillars and towers with Freemasonry. Yet again, all related to the architectural details of Solomon's Temple. Isn't that interesting?
And then the One World Trade Tower now resembles a syringe, right? It's just. Did we lose your audio there, Ruckus? I think we lost your audio. What is Ralph in the Ralph on the YouTube says Germany never woke up either. All right. Looks like Ruckus' audio went down. We'll continue here though. Here's a clip from Trump earlier today. He says Trump says all Iran has to do is cry uncle. I don't think they're gonna cry uncle anytime soon.
Iran, the same thing. I mean, militarily, we've wiped them out. They have no military left. It's all the Navy's at the bottom of the sea. The Air Force is never going to fly again. We've got an amazing military. Now they have to cry uncle. That's all they have to do. Just say, we give up. We give up. But their economy is really in trouble. It's a dead economy.
That is true that their economy is in bad shape. As Ruckus tries to sort out his audio here for us. Trump rejects Iran proposal, says Navy blockade will remain as the Strait of Hormuz is essentially closed. Trump tells Axios he will maintain the blockade until Iran agrees to a nuclear deal addressing U.S. demands, rejecting Tehran's effort to lift the blockade and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. He claimed the blockade is more effective than bombing. They are choking like a stuffed pig, and it is going to get far worse for them. Sources say the U.S. has prepared plans for short and powerful strikes against Iran if negotiations remain stalled. And so everybody's fingers on the trigger. They're getting ready to fire this whole thing back up, Ruckus.
What are we firing up again?
Going in heavy to Iran, and then Iran's
cool.
response.
Yeah, I thought everything was a little quiet on that front. I don't remember much of the news about any of that this week. Everybody's doing their armchair detective about the White House correspondent's false flag ballroom promo.
We're still in a war with Iran, by the way.
61 days, according to the video title I see.
And so Iran's response to this from their parliament speaker, Ghalibaf, he sent out an audio message to the Iranian people. Let me read through it quickly here. He says, from day one, the enemy sought to finish the system within 3 days by assassinating the leader of the revolution and the military commanders, but failed. They then moved to eliminate the country's offensive capabilities, but over time saw that missiles and drone strikes continue. Next, they attempted to turn Iran into a situation like Venezuela, but failed again. They then tried to activate separatist groups, the Kurds and other militias that are in the west of the country, which also failed to the efforts of military and intelligence forces. After months of planning and targeting security bases during the war, they designed a coup attempt timed with the Harshambin Suri Festival of Fire celebrations, but the Iranian people responded in a unified manner and dealt them a heavy blow. The enemy sought to insert forces into the country and tested this plan with the fake rescue mission of that alleged down pilot plan in Isfahan, but it turned into what he described as a Tabish 2 failure. Each of these plans would have brought down a country, but the Iranian nation, relying on divine support, defeated them all. This failure of the enemy had a socio-political foundation, and without it, no success would have been possible. And that was the cohesive and active presence of the people. However, the enemy has entered a new phase and seeks through the naval blockade and media pressure to activate economic pressure and internal division in order to weaken or even collapse the country from within. Trump explicitly divides the country into hardliners and moderates, then immediately speaks of a naval blockade to force Iran into submission through economic pressure and internal division. The solution to confronting this new plot is only one thing: maintaining unity. From the beginning until now, unity has neutralized all enemy plots, and today it is important its importance is even greater. Any divisive action falls directly within the enemy's new plan. As someone present in the field, I tell the Iranian people that we officials all follow the directives of the supreme leader of the country, Khomeini's son, right? Dude named Khomeini, same dude, basically. But they say he's even more extreme than his dad. Well, I don't know why they whacked his dad. He should be clapping like MAGA for it, right? Anyway, they're all following they seem pretty unified to me in the message from freaking Ghalibaf here. Anyhow, continuing with his message, almost done, says all officials are following the directives of the supreme leader of the country, and he is our authority and the deputy of the awaited imam. Our worldly and spiritual well-being lies in obeying his directives. Be assured that we, with complete unity between military and political officials, are moving forward and the axis of our unity is the directives of the leader. Based on my understanding of the Iranian people, I say that by God's grace, these people will defeat this deceptive plan of the enemy as well, and we will achieve a clear victory in this war, fulfilling the divine promise and another victory, that your love, help from Allah, and a near conquest. So give glad tidings to the believers. Quite a bit there out of response there to Trump from Gollyboff. So according to him, they're unified in the front, and they're following Supreme Leader Khomeini.
And according to Trump, Iran doesn't even know who's in charge, right?
Iran doesn't know who's in charge, and Supreme Leader's fake and gay and disfigured and all the rest of the smears against them. But that's not the message Iran is putting out, sadly enough. Here's old, what do you do with a drunken Hegseth, Secretary of the War Department, getting grilled a little bit today as he's, they're going to give him the 1.5 trillion. I don't have any doubt about it, but let's take a look at a little bit of this grilling.
How is this war going? Do you think we're winning?
Militarily on the battlefield, it's been an astounding military success.
No, but are we winning the war?
Absolutely.
Okay, so do you call Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz winning?
Well, I would say the blockade that we hold that doesn't allow anything to come in or out of Iranian ports.
Okay, so
always
we've blockaded their blockade. So they blockaded us, and then we blockaded their blockade. That's like saying, tag, you're it. Or, you know, if President Madison had said, well, the British just burned down Washington, but don't worry, we're going to burn it down as well. How is this war?
What do you do with the drunken Hegseth? What do you do with the drunken Hegseth? Here's Chris Wright. Hey, he says, we're doing it for the world. Well, the 30 million plus people going into poverty, the 2 million plus people that are going to starve to death due to the energy crisis that you've created, I'm sure the world appreciates. So let's hear now from Chris Wright, the energy secretary here. I guess we should all be praising it, and all these third and fourth worlders that are going to die because of it. Praise Chris Wright.
Country, if the world's largest sponsor of terrorism had nuclear weapons that they could deliver to your city. The United States and President Trump decided that's entirely unacceptable. That is an existential threat to the...
It's just flat out lies. This guy's a liar.
Region of the Middle East.
We've already debunked all of their propaganda and lies there.
The world economy, to the United States, and to all of our allies. He took the hard decision to put an end to this risk. We can ignore it. Everything's fine today. Look, when you have cancer, everything's fine until you start chemotherapy. And then you're not fine, but you're killing the cancer that will kill you.
Run from the cure.
That's what we're doing right now. Before this metastasizes into a nuclear-armed Iran, President Trump had the courage to say, we will put an end to that. We will not let the world be subject to that. And yes, he has been frustrated that he has taken from our European allies, not all of them, of course, but he's taken a lot of criticism and heat for doing that. I think he's well justified in that. And yes, we would appreciate more support and more backing of what we're doing. We're not doing it just for America. We're doing it for the world. But we'll get through this.
They're doing it for the world, Ruckus. Are you convinced?
Oh yeah, that guy's a preacher, right? He was doing his sermon or something. And
no, it's the energy secretary.
For the no. There's no way. I've been to church many times, Sam. That was a pastor. He was preaching. They're getting ready to pass around the collection plate. Of course, the church this guy belongs to, that he's pastoring from, is the Church of Trump. But anyways, yeah, that's good stuff right there. I mean, these people, all they do is they're praise Trump. Thank God for Trump. If it wasn't for Trump, it's almost like they get paid every time they say his name, right? Even Trump does it too. He talks to himself about himself in the third person, you know? It's pretty crazy.
Right here, debunking all their lies. The State Department again, we keep showing you this right here on the State Department website. They say right here, the United States is engaged in this conflict at the request and in the collective self-defense of its ally, Aardvark land. Right here it says it. So all the other BS, shove it. Trump, all your secretaries, shove it, because the State Department has the facts right there. And so they're just out there lying, bold-faced lying to the American people. It's just, man.
I like how they're asking for our support, asking for our money. Like they're not just going to take that stuff and use it anyways. They already do.
Here's House Armed Service Committee member grilling old, what do you do with the drunken hag, Seth? Let's take a look at this.
But we're not in this for a tactical advantage. We're in this to fundamentally change Iran. And as we sit here today, Iran's nuclear program is exactly what it was before this war started. They have not lost their capacity to inflict pain. They still have a ballistic missile program. They're still able to blockade the Strait of Hormuz and have the ships that are capable of doing that. But we're not in this for a
But Trump said we blew up their whole army, and last June we blew up their nuclear program. But here's the House Armed Services Committee saying none of that's true.
Plus, what does any of that have to do with what he's saying there? What does the nuclear program have to do with the ballistic missiles and the blockade? Oh, that's right. Nothing. They're not using nuclear weapons to do these things. Neat.
U.S. Central Command Admiral Brad Cooper put out this message. He says, today, U.S. forces achieved a significant milestone after significantly redirecting the 42nd commercial vessel attempting to violate the blockade. This is a reflection of the outstanding work America's sons and daughters in uniform are doing to prevent maritime commercial from entering or exiting Iran ports. Right now, there are 41 tankers with 69 million barrels of oil that the Iranian regime can't sell. That's an estimated $6 billion plus, from which Iran's leadership cannot financially benefit. The blockade is highly effective, and U.S. forces remain fully committed to total enforcement. Here's that message from CENTCOM earlier today. And check out their logo, right? Peter Duke of the Duke Report pointed this out to me. And yeah, it's quite striking there. The U.S. Central Command's logo sits right there, right there. Wowzers. Because it is, that's a key trading route for the entire world. And that's why U.S. Central Command's logo, the eagle and the shield, sit right on top of it, you see.
No, it's an American symbol, Sam. It's as old as the country is.
Chloe's here. We do have, let me tell you about Trump derangement syndrome, Chloe. So the term Trump derangement syndrome was first used in 2015 by Esther Goldberg, building on Charles Krautheimer's. Remember that guy, Charles Krautheimer? He used to be Mr. Conservative, and you would have to listen to him and he knew what he was talking about. Anyhow, total fraud, neocon piece of trash. Anyhow, bless his soul. I think he's no longer with us. Anyway, Charles Krautheimer earlier is a spinoff from his coinage of the term Bush derangement syndrome. A Minnesota state senator, Justin Eichhorn, who recently sponsored a Trump derangement syndrome bill, was arrested for soliciting a minor, and he did not invent the term. So there you go. It's a spinoff of Charles Krautheimer's Bush derangement syndrome.
So this dude introduces a bill related to Trump derangement syndrome, and all of a sudden he gets in trouble for that other stuff?
For soliciting a minor, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. What about the UFOs? we're tired of the war. Trump's tired of the war, man. You know what I mean? So it's time to move on to some more different psyops here. UFOs. Let's hear. They keep saying they're going to give us UFO disclosure. Here's Trump talking about that earlier today.
I think we're going to be releasing as much as we can in the near future for some reason. And I guess it's just a reason that's been in the minds of people for a long time. That is such, they want to find out about the UFOs and anything having to do with UFO or related material. And we're going to be releasing a lot of things from that we have. And I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people. I've interviewed people, my first term primarily, but I interviewed some pilots, very solid people. And they said they saw things that you wouldn't believe. So you can.
There's one more, and then we'll get your comments here. Anna Paulina Luna, she's acted. I want to like some of these politicians, but I just can't. I have a wall here now, Ruckus. They will not break my veil. They will not break my veil, no matter how good they do. They will never convince me they're on my side and doing right by the American people. Okay, I don't care what they say. Here's Anna Paulina Luna about the disclosure of the aliens. Let's take a listen to this clip.
In the past that you've seen yourself evidence of interdimensional beings. What's that, aliens or?
So the interdimensional beings is what our witnesses will call these things. I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion. Again, but there has been a declassification order from the president, and you will see as soon as that stuff comes out.
Right. So do you think that the American public's going to be super surprised when this comes out, or is it going to be a bit of a nothing burger?
Well, I don't think it'll be a nothing burger, but, we're not going to tell the American people what to make of it. But I think, when, again, you saw my last hearing that I did with the task force where there was some footage that was entered into the archive, and it's pretty shocking for people. I don't know much tech that can deflect a Hellfire missile. I don't know about you. But, I think
so. What do you think?
That you'll see.
Can they stop the Russian hypersonic Reznik? Is my question. Okay, so what do you make of this, Ruckus? It's just gonna be another some more BS, right?
I don't know. I do like Anna Paulina Luna.
I like her, but I have a veil here. I like Massey too. I like Nancy Mace. I like Massey. I like her, but there's a veil here. I will never trust these people. You see?
But this is the one thing, though, that she does that I'm like, why? Why do these people do this stuff? So, yeah, she's way into this stuff. And it's interesting that the setup for that led you to believe that she had some sort of experience with these creatures. No, she saw some information allegedly inside of a skiff.
And then what is it? Blanchard, the other congressman dude, he talks about it. I think they're feeding them disinformation, honestly, so then they can run out there and say, oh my gosh, aliens are real. You know what I mean? So,
right. And as she pointed out there, the president is going to declassify stuff, and then the government, we're not going to tell you what to think or what to believe. Oh, how convenient is that? So that's helping, right? Not helping. But Trump, you could pull up a bunch of old clips of Trump saying exactly the same type of thing in the same cadence, in the same I believe he's really going to do this about releasing the Epstein files. Here he is again talking about, and he said this about the JFK files, and he said we were going to get the audit of Fort Knox. Remember? All of these things. He just says these things. He's going to do these things. And even though this is one that I'm quite concerned about, now I'm not so much, because if and when we do indeed get the files, the UFO files or whatever they call them, he'll probably name them after himself, the Trump Disclosure Act or something like that, or maybe you'll do a TDS thing, the Trump Disclosure of Secrets. Who knows? There'll be redactions. So it'll be just like the Epstein file. All the names and the pictures and all the stuff will be like all the good stuff.
It'll be like you're doxing the aliens, bro. Come on.
Right? Yes. He's like, why don't you do it? So, well, like my friends could get hurt.
Exactly.
Your friends are the Greys. Yeah.
Your friends are the freaking the bug aliens or what? Oh my God. More dystopia out of that big Masonic ritual here. I believe this was also part of a ritual. First Lady, and I guess they call her Queen, Her Majesty Queen Camilla. There, Camilla, old Charles' wife here, his second wife, I believe, after they murdered Diana. Oh no, that was just the accident. Excuse me. They rolled out a bunch of dystopic. This is the new education here. The post from the First Lady Melania, she wants the Epstein files released as well, but wearing her Saturn hat there. First Lady Melania Trump led an innovative cross-culture educational program yesterday using artificial intelligence and virtual reality. And so, wowzers. Look at all these kids. And then we got another clip of them with the VR goggles on, but they all got the virtual reality Ray-Bans right here. And so isn't that also innovative and wonderful right there? Very extremely dystopic, in my opinion, here now. Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. Put on the glasses and burn your books. Here's actual video of, this is dystopia right here, of the children wearing the VR goggles there for their education, of course. Dude, it's getting extremely dystopic. Ruckus.
You remember how weird it was when people would be walking around and they were talking on their Bluetooths, but then you didn't, or it was early on and people didn't really like, what was this guy doing? Just walking around talking to himself, We're going to see that kind of thing. People just walking around, acting in real life, just like standing there and doing stuff. It's going to be weird. So, they're going to literally physically walk into like the coffee shops wearing that thing. And that's how they're going to order. They're going to go in and they'll be directed to stand in a certain, like a circle that they can see on the floor. And, it'll all be nice and neat and organized and safe and effective. That's for sure.
U.S. Labor Department today says we launched the AI Registered Apprenticeship Initiative portal, a one-stop resource to help organizations build AI literacy and develop AI-focused apprenticeship programs. And so you can go there and sign up to be part of this mind control program launched by the U.S. Department of Labor right there. Expand AI-focused registered apprenticeship programs. The link is right here. It'll be at Weaponized News Substack, or go look it up yourself and be part of that mind control program. It's awesome.
It's kind of a mouthful to say all that, though.
It certainly is. From our friend Jason Bassler at the Free Thought Project, Palantir CEO, legalizing war crimes would be good for business. There you go. He posted this headline. He says, we've officially reached the part of the timeline where war crimes are pitched like product features. Truly incredible, man.
That guy is a living example of, you give somebody an inch, they take that mile. Way to go, everybody.
Hey, Alex Karp on the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group said he's the only person out of all of them that gives conspiracy theorists a seat at the table, Ruckus.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Mr. Karp. We do sincerely appreciate you beyond belief. Yes, sir.
He also said he wants to...
on beyond belief.
He wants to spray urinal lace fentanyl on stock analysts.
I was like, was that
down
real?
Talking,
He really said this?
Yeah, that are
what
down.
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Palantir stock, yeah. And he openly bragged, yeah, sometimes we kill people. Like that's
can we go back to like where it was like we were like Bill Gates and Fauci and stuff, man? Seriously,
there were way more fun supervillains than this guy, right? He's getting
Holy
crazy
crap.
with it.
These people are like literally like Yeah, these people are just would start walking around like killing people, like, how's it going? You see
They
how I just
are.
that
They
person's
literally
throat?
are
That was
killing
fun.
people right now.
What the hell? Yeah. Anyway,
they are, Ruckus. They're killing people right now, and we're supposed to say, well, it's wonderful for national security. More of this national security surveillance state they're building with the flock cameras, the freaking cameras up everybody's rear end, the data about everything you freaking do, right? And so Palantir took over like almost 30 government agencies. They're running their operating systems there. So essentially they own all this data now, information about you and I and the rest of American people. Why can't this giant surveillance state, and by the way, NSA too is gathering up, don't ever forget that, NSA is gathering up all of our data as well. So you think Palantir's bad, NSA been doing it from the shadows for a very, very long time, and they're still doing it today. So they got data on everybody. They know where everybody's going, track, trace, and this, that, and the other, and profile, but they can't seem to stop these assassins. You would think with the thought crime police and pre-crime all over the place. Jason Bassler had this post, and it makes sense. Why they have to surveil Ruckus and I, and we're just trying to figure out how to get enough money to buy some topper almond. But these guys are allowed to run all over the country. He was allowed to go from California all the way to where was it? DC, right? To the DC Hilton there. And so a very long journey. Turns out in the surveillance age of biometrics, drones, and watch lists, Palantir AI predicting pre-crimes, NSA monitoring our communications, flock cameras tracking our movements. How does this keep happening? Why are we being spied on? And why do the NSA, FBI, and Department of Homeland Security even exist? Indeed, because it's for selective enforcement. And of course, Jason Bassler knows that. He's trying to prompt a response. But yeah, why do they exist? Why do they exist? They can't stop the would-be lone wolf assassins of the president here now.
Which is by design. That's a feature, not a bug. That these systems, the government agencies are going to fail so that they will be replaced by the private company, i.e. Palantir.
Here you go. They didn't stop the Vegas massacre, the 9/11 World Trade Center attacks, the Ohio State attack, the Chattanooga Springs shooting, the San Bernardino shooting, the Orlando shooting, the Boston bombing, the Fort Hood shooting, the Colorado Springs shooting, or the Charleston church shooting. Remind me again why we are being spied on and why these agencies exist. From the Free Thought Project. Indeed.
So I could see somebody on the Palantir payroll, a stockholder, congressperson, introducing a bill and showing that exact thing right there. I'm like, exactly why do we need these companies when we could much more securely score like a private independent contract, save the taxpayers a shit ton of money, and just turn everything over to Palantir and Foundry and all of that? Like literally just hand the keys of the castle over to them. I really see that as this is a selling point. And this White House correspondent, the shooter himself, even said in the manifesto, he's like, boy, this is terrible. There's a huge lack of security here. I'm disappointed. I'm like, you're the guy who's trying to get past the security. If I was you, I'd be like, man, this is exciting. There's hardly any security here. It's so in your face. It's like, it's so in your face. It's a joke. It's crazy.
Wow, they're rigging all this up. All right, Ruckus, we're at the top of the hour. Let's take our live commercial break here now. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us. We just went through an hour worth of news, commercial free. Everybody give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. Give us a follow on the X for whatever it's worth. Our direct messages are always open. Go to weaponizednews.com/shop. Get yourself some stickers over there. We got the holograph sticker, the white background sticker, the clear sticker. Help support independent reporting and analysis, brought to you 5 days a week. Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern time. Give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. weaponizednews.com/shop. We take donations. In the description below this video, you can find a link to Ruckus X and then all of his connections. Below that is weaponizednews.com/shop. Buy me a coffee, Cash App, Bitcoin wallet address. Weaponizednews.com has a secure donation button through PayPal right on the front page. Very easy to find. Any which way you choose to support us is truly appreciated. You can become a paid subscriber. Shout out to Fat Bob. He just took the plunge, and we do appreciate all the paid subscribers out there. Go to Weaponized News Substack, become a paid subscriber. We give all the information for free, nothing behind a paywall. You're just simply showing your appreciation for the value we're providing you, the massive amount of information, and debunking the media and government lies on a daily basis here now for you. And so become a paid subscriber, give us a donation, patron the store, give us that like, share, subscribe, push the notification button. Any which way you choose to support this broadcast is truly appreciated. Thank you very much. Go ahead and plug away, Ruckus.
Neat. Plus, you get Ruckus once a week, and
that too,
Ruckus,
added bonus.
Ruckus only happens 3 times a week. For the other 2 times a week, that would be the Boiler Room and Sunday Wire. You'll find all of that over at alternatescurrentradio.com, where you'll also find my friends and colleagues doing a couple podcasts, such as the Mystical American Patriot Society and the Odd Man Out podcast, both of which have brand new episodes available in video and audio format. There's the new one from Odd Man Out, Trump Worship Syndrome. Also, while you're here, you can check out and learn everything you possibly wanted to know about your boy Ruckus and then some, because I actually have an About Me section on here too. You can also see a flattering picture of me where you can tell a little bit better in this picture, first of all, what I might look like with teeth. Yes, I have dentures. I just choose not to wear them. But my hair is a faux hawk. It's like a fake mohawk. It's not an alfalfa sprout. I get that all the time. I saw somebody mentioning that in the chat room. Here, I'll turn my head. See, it's like a little mohawk.
No, we can't see you. We can't see you.
Oh, that's right.
There you go. Let's see. Prove it. Okay. Yeah. Not just one little hair.
Right. One day this summer, I'm going to go full mohawk, and then it'll be quite obvious to y'all. But anyways, yes, reach out to me via DM on my X. It's AC_word_slinger. Thanks, Sam.
The link's in the description below this video. Don't feel bad, Ruckus. They're always talking shit to me, saying that, oh, you look like Gavin Newsom. I'm like, really? Thanks for that insult, asshole. You know what I mean? Anyhow, thank you for bearing with us through that commercial break. Welcome back to the second half of Weaponized News on this Wednesday, April 29th, 2026 edition. Continuing here. Again, don't threaten these people. They're cracking down on it. No matter how bad they piss you off, don't be an idiot and threaten the government, because they will come after you. Here's a statement issued by the Justice Department. Threatening political violence against public office holders is antithetical to our system of government and will not be tolerated. Public officials must be permitted to carry out their duties free from threats that cause concern for their public safety and the safety of their loved ones. Perpetrators like Lauderdale, who use mail or the internet to engage in such conduct, will be taken at their word and prosecuted accordingly. And so don't let either side or anybody in between provoke you into threatening or actually doing an act of violence against these people, because that's a large part of their PSYOP mind control operation, is to try to provocateur you into being an idiot so they can lock you up for the next 20 years. Don't play their stupid game. You can simply, the easiest way to get back at them is just don't comply with a lot of their BS. It takes you complying to have the tyranny really roll over you. We're getting to the point where that's not going to matter, but we still have some power of just simply saying no. But don't threaten these people, no matter how pissed off you get about it. Believe me, I'm pretty pissed off about it every day, seeing the tyranny they're doing and all their crimes, but just don't threaten them, because that's a losing battle. Here now, Ruckus.
Well, I do not condone that advice whatsoever, Sam. I'm going to distance myself from that one here while I still can. Yeah. See, there's a problem here because, indeed, technically, they could change the definition of what is considered a threat. And we already suspect this, but just what you just said right there, like your choice to not comply or our ability to critically think for ourselves, for instance, are truly indeed a threat to these people's way of life, their existence, this system that they thrive and survive off of. So as soon as they can figure out some way to legally define what we do, that is being critical thinkers and not complying and thinking for ourselves, disobeying, that is a threat. And they're probably gonna throw the well, probably not gonna throw the book at us. They're probably gonna throw the guillotine at us, Sam.
That may very well be coming soon here. We had a Supreme Court ruling today. Supreme Court limits use of race in redistricting in a 6-3 decision. The justices told states they can almost never consider race, like majority black districts, when drawing maps to comply with Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And here's that's a report out of NBC. Here's a little map as they're constantly trying to gerrymander these districts. And they're talking about Louisiana. Strangely enough, they had it gerrymandered right here, all blacks, right? So, but don't worry, the Democrats are not racist at all. They just gerrymander the black districts there. And you can see also in these states as well, in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the South, and so on. There. So you're not allowed to gerrymander.
There's an easy fix for that one. Why don't we start gerrymandering? Why don't we randomize it?
Because they can't rig it as easily that way. It has to be.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't because they want to rig it. All right, never mind.
It needs to be easier for them to rig, not harder, Ruckus.
I didn't mean to threaten anybody out there with this idea. Anyway,
we love your tyranny, NSA. We just love it. You're keeping us safe, and anything for national security. We already know. Okay, here's a message from the DEA on today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, and they literally slapped everybody in the face. We'll get to that with a Purdue Pharma fine. We'll get to that, but now let's hear a message from the DEA. Don't do drugs, kids. Seriously. Especially not the opioids. Oh, that didn't work. Let me bring this guy on. Here we go.
I'm Terry Cole, Administrator of the Drug Enforcement Administration. Every day, I meet people whose lives have been impacted by fentanyl. It's a hidden danger you can't see, taste, or smell. Just one pill, actually just 2 milligrams, can be deadly. Fentanyl is the leading cause of death of adults 18 to 45. It's often hidden in pills, in powder, and it can impact anyone. On National Fentanyl Awareness Day, join DEA to achieve a fentanyl-free America. Protect yourselves and others. Prevent overdose deaths and support those who have been affected by this crisis. Together, we can save American lives.
Well, we got that dirty Maduro, the world's leading fentanyl trafficker, right? We arrested his butt, right?
Arrested?
Kidnapped him. And, well, actually, it turns out in an indictment, there's nothing mentioning fentanyl trafficking whatsoever. But that was the rhetoric leading up to his kidnapping.
Justice. Is that true what that guy said? I mean, I'm taking that with a huge grain of salt here, that it's the leading cause of death.
You don't trust the DEA, Ruckus?
The leading cause of death for adults 18 to 45 in America. I assume it means in America.
Fact check them.
Because that's insane. That would mean it's now overtaken heart disease and or car accidents, which are usually the leading causes of death in America. Anyways. Or, well, I guess obesity. Well, I mean, these things change every season, don't they, Sam? But it's always nice to have a new invisible enemy, too. I mean, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. Just trust us, it's there, and it's going to kill you.
Don't do opioids, kids. On this fentanyl awareness #JustNo. Well, and then the Justice Department did this today. Opioid manufacturer PurduePharma sentenced for fraud and kickback conspiracies. So the Justice Department are a pack of conspiracy theorists because every other indictment says conspiracy in it. But besides that, opioid manufacturer PurduePharma LP was sentenced today in federal court in Newark, New Jersey, in order to pay criminal penalties of over $5 billion for its role in fueling the opioid epidemic. PurduePharma put profits over patient health and safety, acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said. He went on to say, the company willfully rejected the law and ignored the diversion of their highly addictive prescription drugs. Their actions contributed to the opioid crisis that claimed countless lives and destroyed entire families and communities. Today's sentence is a prime example of the department's effort to redress past wrongs by rooting out and punishing unlawful conduct by companies that have contributed to the national crisis here, Ruckus. And so they
punished them $5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke, right? I mean, do you know how much money these people make?
They're bankrupt. You don't feel bad for the Seckler family there? They're in bankruptcy now, Ruckus. There you go. And so even the way they word it is deceitful, as they continue to cover up the Epstein files at the Justice Department. But the wording here, they say, order to pay criminal penalties. No executive, they received 0 jail time. 0.
It's not like they killed anybody. Oh, wait a minute. What's the argument again? Oh,
they killed over, people. Since 1999, over 500,000 Americans have been killed due to opioid overdoses, in large part due to PurduePharma's fraudulent marketing of OxyContin. And then
I just figured it out. I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out, Sam. Now I know what the secret is, how these people keep getting away with this murder. How do you get away with murder? You have to kill like an X amount of, like, it's got to be like in the thousands. You got to do like a whole buttload of killings.
You got to do a genocide.
And then you're totally in the clear. But if you just kill like 1 or 2, you know, or maybe you're a serial killer and you're off like maybe up to 12 or something like that, no, you're going to prison, buddy. You're going to at least until you get out for good time served, or the judge is a buddy of a Freemason you went to high school or kindergarten together, or they want to make a Netflix series about you and hire you at the FBI, that sort of thing. Or if you're Ghislaine Maxwell, they'll release you from prison. But if otherwise you're going to the slammer. But yeah, just genocide a bunch of people, create a product that just slowly kills people and destroys lives, and you're good to go, man. If you get caught, we're going to have to do like a little bit of a symbolic thing and ask you for, some pennies on the dollar. It's going to hurt. There's going to be a little pain. It'll be like ripping off a Band-Aid, but you'll be fine,
Amazing. They killed over 500,000 Americans, and they paid $5 billion fine, and that's it. There you go. More from Anna Paulina Luna. See, again, I want to like her, but the veil will never be lifted here for me liking any of these politicians. Are definitely not trusting them. But she put this post out today. She says they're going to have a hearing in the House Oversight Committee on MK Ultra. And so they're bringing back MK Ultra again here now on March 13th. And here's their history conspiracy theory board, right? Mind control murder. And it's just like, what? Wowzers, dude. So she's hitting on all the conspiracies, you know what I mean? So that makes you want to like her, but I just can't trust these people. So look out for that look out March or May 13th for the MK Ultra House Oversight Committee Task Force investigation into it as it continues. And then
perfect timing in the wake of the White House Correspondents' Dinner thing, huh?
It is indeed. And then Emma Catherine, has a series of interviewing many of these MK Ultra and Epstein style victims that are victims of satanic ritual abuse and the like. She said directly under this post, she says, will this be discussing the U.S. government's historical child slavery system using children born into multi-generational ritualistic abuse families? Will there be discussions on the deliberate torture and abuse of children to disassociate and fracture them for the agency's creation and use of Manchurian candidates? Will monarch be brought up? And she's talking about creating the mind control slave, the Illuminati mind control slaves. And that's exactly how they're doing it, with trauma-based mind control. And so Paula Luna did not reply to that. So, but she nails it right there. Let's get to the heart of the matter and what's really going on with this. And that's it. Now a word, Ruckus, from Epstein's lawyer. He says that when you turn against Aardvark land or you turn against the Aardvark people, you are ultimately turning against America, because Aardvarks founded America. George Washington had a little hat.
Israel is the canary in the mine shaft. And when you turn against Israel and you turn against the Jewish people, you are ultimately turning against America. Israel is the canary.
Everybody knows George Washington was a big Zionist. I mean, that's in the Constitution, right?
That's quite impossible by definition. But we'll let the audience do some research. Ask Grok about that one, kids. Have fun.
We added two more through the diligent researchers on the X here. And so this, I'm like shadow banned into literally zero on the X. I've never seen. I guess only deleting me could do more on the X. Take a look at this post. It kind of did pretty well. The Trump admin officials in the Epstein files, right? And we named them, had 729 shares there, Ruckus, but only has 7,000 views. Imagine that, right? And so literally censored into nothingness, but we already knew that, and that's old news. The new news that we did find out through commenters on this post by me was that we missed a couple people. And so let me just run through it again. Trump admin officials in the Epstein files: Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Howard Lutnick, John Phelan, Paulo Zampoli, Bobby Kennedy Jr., Kevin Warsh. Looks like he is going to be the new Federal Reserve chairman as he passed out of the Senate committee today. Mehmet Oz, Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, Alex Acosta, Bill Barr, Brett Ratner, and add two more that were not part of this list that I compiled using Gronk. So AI missed something there, two somethings, and probably more than that. Tom Barak, he's the ambassador over there running around Lebanon in the Middle East. Envoy, I think he's like special envoy to Lebanon, something like this. He's in the Epstein files. And this guy, who I didn't know, and shout out to the Anon over there on the X that pointed this out. Good catch. This guy is a psychopath. Leon Black's son, Ben Black. Take a look. And so this is a psychopath right here. Ben Black. Ben Black serves as Chief Executive Officer of the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, DFC, appointed by Trump. And yeah, this guy's a psychopath. You can just see it. Please see it. He's also on the list there. You can see right here, 132 times Ben Black is mentioned there. Again, Leon Black's son, Ben Black. And then I did a little bit of digging, not even that much here, Ruckus, on these on the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, and it's a straight up racketeering operation. They will they'll issue you political risk insurance coverage against losses due to currency inconvertibility, government interference, and political violence, including terrorism. So this is literally explaining racketeering right here. Political risk insurance offered by Ben Black's outfit there, the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. Truly incredible stuff. And I didn't even do very much digging at all. And I'm just like, wow, they're openly racketeers. Pretty incredible there, Ruckus.
Pretty neat. And Ben Black, what's the initials of his first and his last name?
BB.
Oh, that's neat. Just a coincidence, though. Yeah, and I'm just having a stretch in there. Yeah, I don't know. These people are all... I'm guessing that if you were to do a proper dive and could see the names behind the black bars, you would find out that every single person in the current administration is in the Epstein files.
Jeez, and they haven't even released them all. What, like 6, 10?
Oh,
6
that's
or
impossible.
10%,
Isn't there a law that says... No way. We've got them all by now, don't we?
No.
Promises made, promises delivered. Did I miss something?
No, there's like 6 to 10%, something like this, have been released. They're still holding like 90% plus of the files.
They're coming. They're coming. Trump said they're coming.
With UFO disclosure, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, promises made. Trust in Trump. Don't be a panicking, Sam.
Oh, you got me there.
Ignore the panicins and trust in President Trump.
I'm going to miss her when she's on maternity leave.
Oh, I know. She's pregnant by, again, right? It's her second child. Bless their hearts. Man, how could you? It's got to be bad for the baby when the mother's just a constant stream of lies for the government. And something tells me that's not healthy for the baby. Anyhow, hopefully her time off for maternity leave can ease some of that suffering on her baby there. Okay. What about this? Memphis nonprofit founder tied up on Epstein Island, charged with trespassing. Did you see this crazy story?
Who was
this guy? And I seen some posts from this guy. Anti-sex trafficking campaigner says he tried to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's pedo island and ended up getting hogtied and blindfolded. Here's the California Compost report about it. Right here, an anti-human trafficking campaigner from Tennessee says he was found hogtied and blindfolded on Epstein Island Sunday after he went there to investigate the dead pedophile's crimes. Ben Owen, this guy, I seen posts from this guy. He does these memes where he writes on the deal there. Ben Owen, the founder of Memphis-based nonprofit We Fight Monsters, was arrested and charged with trespassing when police in U.S. Virgin Islands found that he had been trussed up by caretakers on Epstein Island. And here's that original report. Let's watch this short clip. I believe this is out of Memphis, Tennessee, WREG.
Plague the Mid-South. It's a beast that has been a top priority for law enforcement for decades. WRG's Clemitra Wilborn spoke to a man who says fighting monsters is his specialty.
Who is We Fight Monsters and what monsters are you fighting?
For years, the monster of drug addiction consumed Ben Owen.
I finally hit rock bottom in 2019. My wife and I were homeless on the streets of South Memphis.
He says after multiple run-ins with the law, he realized he had to make a change.
We had this foxhole prayer that if God would get us out of hell together, we'd come back for the people we left behind.
Years later, Ben and his wife overcame addiction and fulfilled their promise by founding the organization We Fight Monsters. Since 2022, they have worked with law enforcement on sting operations to combat human trafficking and child exploitation.
We had this odd assortment of, like I said, ex-cons and feds coming together to move the needle in some pretty calamitous environments.
In the process, he also works to rehabilitate those suffering from drug addiction, just like he was.
Typically, when we work with law enforcement, we're trying to get in between good people and the consequences of bad decisions. My first interaction with the West Tennessee Violent Crime and Drug Task Force was when they arrested me on a felony warrant in 2014.
And he used to come to the trap house we was in, which was my brother's house that he now owns as a Hope House.
And Ben never forgot about the people he left behind. Coming up on the news at 10, we introduce you to one woman who says that without his help, she may still be battling her own monsters. We also take a closer look at what he believes will be the solution to the ongoing problem of addiction and hopelessness in the community.
I can't save you.
So it looked like he was doing okay work over there trying to help people, and took it to the next level, going to Epstein Island, and wound up getting arrested there. Wild. Pretty wild story.
Is that what they meant by being hogtied, is he was arrested?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Talk about if you don't read through the story, you're left with a different impression on that one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess the moral of that story is don't go to Epstein Island. This guy, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I seen this guy. Maybe it's all publicity stunt.
Clearly, he misspelled something in his little sign there. Whether he did it on purpose or not, I can't tell you.
Oh, man. A worker on Little St. James, the legal name of Epstein's Island, told police Owen shoved him and his pregnant girlfriend to the ground when they tried to stop him from taking pictures. He said he was kidnapped by a woman who manages and lives on Epstein Island, and he thanked the Virgin Island Police Department for rescuing me from that debacle.
I don't want to throw shade or discredit anybody, but the guy's got a history of drugs and problems with the cops, and he does create content which is based on sensationalism and clicks and likes and attention economy and all that stuff. So take that one with a huge grain of salt. And I don't know because I wasn't there. So unless, well, it is 2026. So even if they were to present video evidence of this gentleman being tackled to the ground, him and his pregnant wife, and hogtied and rescued by Little St. James police, yeah, I guess I can't prove that for myself. So I'm going to have to lean towards disbelief on this one, Sam.
Fair enough. I have to agree with you there as bizarre. So okay, continuing. Epstein survivors hold a roundtable on the Hill after King Charles declines their invite. They want an apology from Jimmy Savile's best friend and from because of his brother, right? And he didn't meet up with the survivors. Survivors of Jeffrey Epstein held a roundtable on Capitol Hill after King Charles III declined to meet with them despite his brother's connection to the reviled sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. So he wouldn't even meet up with the victims. Some good news here, maybe. I don't know. It's probably just be more BS out of Miss 50K Dow, but former Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify about Epstein on May 29th before the House Oversight Committee. So a date's been set.
She was exempted or something.
Yeah, but she's now been. They issued a subpoena. I mean, as far as I know, everybody has to comply with congressional subpoenas, or they put you in jail if they feel like it. So anyhow, they're saying here now. It's a report out of CNBC, but it's widely reported that scheduled to appear May 9th, but we'll see. Maybe they'll stage something up. I don't know. Bibby blows up stuff to not have to go to his court appearances. I don't know what Pam Bondi will do, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess, at the end of May. So at least
the Dow, she's going to increase. She's going to inflate the Dow.
Speaking of that, let's just check quickly. We're almost on to the economic section. The Dow's still under 50K and has been, I believe, since she made that outrageous statement. So they could arrest Epstein co-conspirators anytime. The path's clear for you, Todd Blanche. The Dow's under 50. Come on, bro. Get it done.
Although all things considered, 61 days into a war and all this supply chain and energy shortage, you would think the stock markets would be doing a little bit more poorly. Yet, oddly enough, they all see, in general, under Trump's second administration, the stocks have been doing pretty good. Yep. Neat.
But what about
I guess that's what he meant by making America great again, right?
But what about the price of top ramen soup? That's increased.
Those people don't buy top ramen, Sam. Come on. They're eating lobster and steak dinner. Come on.
More from Anna Paulina Luna here. And I want to like her, but I just can't because she works for the government. But this is a win, maybe. And how do we even get to this point? Why are we not marching with, I can't even say it, but we should be more upset about all of this.
Okay, so I got some good news for you guys. I just talked to the speaker. Sam,
yeah.
Have you heard about the good news?
What's the good news?
We have the Farm Bill getting a vote today.
Farm Bill today? No pesticide provisions?
No pesticides. See, we don't like giving kids cancer.
No, we don't. And she's fighting to make sure that those provisions are not in there.
Mahawan. Okay.
What do you think? Are they going to put indemnity for the pesticide companies in the Farm Bill? Trump already gave them national security indemnity for glyphosate. What about the rest of the pesticides?
There's still, what if there's, we do have an issue with the fertilizer and all that stuff. What if, anyways, yeah. No, I foresee something coming. You know what? I see what they're doing here. So I think that they're steering away from the concerns of the public about give them a win with the pesticide stuff while we just freaking ramrod into their face like too late now. All the robots, like the full on robotic transition of the food industry. I think we're definitely heading in that direction, which is good. I mean, that's going to be a significant change right there. But yeah,
Palantir signed a giant contract with the USDA. So
hey, there you go.
Like
dude,
$300 billion because we need Palantir controlling the food supply.
If anyone wants to get me a birthday gift this year, or they would like to send me a donation, don't send it to me via PayPal. Don't send me Bitcoin. Just go ahead and buy me some Palantir stock, and we'll be good. Thanks.
On to the economic section here now, Ruckus. The U.S. national debt, remember that? Trump gets bored with that too, I'm sure. But at some point, something's got to give. U.S. national debt now growing by $180 million an hour and $5 billion every day. $5 billion is still a lot of money, and it's growing by that. It's exponential at this point. So at some point, something's got to give, and institutional buyers are going to stop buying U.S. Treasury bonds at some point.
Now, hold on a second. I guess we got to put this $5 billion number in perspective. So when it's $5 billion as a criminal penalty against Purdue, that's a huge sum. That's going to hurt you. That's really going to hurt. But when you say, oh, well, we're $5 billion a day in debt, that's such a small number. It's only $5 billion. Don't even sweat it, everybody. No big deal.
Amazing. The Powell, Chair of the Federal Reserve, Powell, He said he will stay on as a governor. So there's no way to get rid of this guy. He will not be the chair of the Federal Reserve, but he will stay on the board of governors of the Federal Reserve.
What else is he going to do with his life? Come on.
Trump said that too. Trump said something similar, said everybody hates him and he can't get a job anywhere, to paraphrase Trump, something like that. So you guys are on the same page.
Well, the guy knows, dude. I mean, he's really good at it and all that, and his language and all that stuff. So, I mean, good for him. I don't see him doing much of anything else. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It is 2026. Maybe he could start like a YouTube channel. Maybe people would tune in and like one of those ASMR, like go sleep 24 hours, 7 to the voice of Jerome Powell. And he just reads something, you know, I think that would be a success.
He just reads the minutes of the Federal Reserve meetings and
you'll be out in 5 minutes.
Bore you sleep there. Yeah, for sure. Klaus Schwab has launched his Schwab Academy on the YouTube. And I check in now and then, and he's not very popular. I don't know why, but so the Federal Reserve as well today announced no change in the interest rate. So the interest rate will stay the same. And again, that's for the discount window. That's the rate they always talk about. So people understand, and I didn't understand for a long time. The interest rate you hear on the news when they say the Federal Reserve did this, that, and the other today did no change. So it is at 3.5 to 3.75%. It's the discount window. That's the rate they charge banks to borrow from the Federal Reserve from the money they literally create out of nothing on a computer screen. And then the banks add their margin in there to loan the money to you, creating more money, quite literally, out of nothing. The magic of the central banking system here now. So I hope that explanation, for those that didn't know, now you know. Kevin Warsh in the Epstein files, he's been approved by the Senate Banking Committee. So he's moving through. I think now he's on to the main Senate for confirmation to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve. Wonderful. Natural gas is so abundant. What do you think about this report? Natural gas is so abundant in West Texas that prices have plummeted below zero, according to a report out of Bloomberg. You guys got a lot of natural gas over there in Texas, apparently.
Well, that's West Texas. I'm in Central Texas, so I'm screwed.
You're screwed. Can't even make it to Central Texas from West Texas with that natural gas. France unveils plan to ditch all fossil fuels by 2050, and that's our target for net zero as well. So getting right on board with the one world government agenda there in France. Take a look at this. Is insane right here. And so they're just throwing in our face. Secretary of War.
That's a heavy statement to say in 2026, Sam. This is insane. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Secretary of War, Chairman Kane says, or Sec War is what they say. I'm reading right from the Department of War. Sec War Chairman Kane says budget increases lethality, benefits U.S. industry. So they're openly bragging about how wonderful it is to kill people, and it benefits the military-industrial complex, and it's just so wonderful. Here's an article published on the X by the Department of War. This is insane to me, but I guess we just need to praise killing people and give the Department of War their $1.5 trillion budget for fiscal year 2027.
This is why I, myself and a number of people are upset about the changing of the name to the Department of War from the Department of Defense, because yeah, I mean, if you want to have a strong military to allegedly defend your country from an invading force, if such a thing existed, but yeah, no, they're war.
Well, we're the aggressor.
We're the war, killing people.
We're the aggressor. We're the imperial global hegemon. Okay, so everybody can get that straight in their mind. We ain't the good guys in this. I'm sorry to report to you here now. According to the rest of the world, the Arsenal of Freedom. Look at this. It's insane. It's quite literally insane. And Hegseth has went on the tour pumping all of the military industrial complex, Boeing, GE Aerospace, Northrop Grumman, Hydron, Lockheed Martin, Anduril, Saranic, L3 Harris, RTX, and AV Inc. All right there on the map. You could see $50 billion plus in private investment, 270 plus investments, 70,000 jobs. They're like, and it goes on. And we're just supposed to say, well, that's wonderful that our entire economy is based off the off war, off never-ending war, and funding the military-industrial complex here now as part of the Arsenal of Freedom tour, Ruckus.
Arsenal of Freedom.
That's what they call it.
Arsenal of Freedom up your arse. And Hegseth and Kid Rock each individually did little joyrides in Apache helicopters, I guess. So people are upset about that. Don't be jealous, people. We know you want to joyride in an Apache helicopter too, don't you?
It probably would be pretty cool, but yeah, that's the least of our problems, actually. Here's what do you do with the drunken Hegseth, Secretary of War? He's making a promise here now. Call me skeptical and a cynic, but I just simply don't believe him. He says under the previous administration, the Department of Defense's financial reporting was a disaster. It goes back to 2018, so also under Trump's first administration, they have not been able to pass a financial audit there at the Pentagon. But today, he says, that ends today. The Department of War will deliver a clean audit for our 2028 financial statement. So they can get their accounting together in 2 more years, maybe, possibly. I don't believe them here now, Ruckus. Are we going to get it?
I mean,
are we gonna
AI
get
will probably help them clean that up.
But when you've stolen like unlimited trillions upon trillions, it's kind of hard to track down all those trillions. And going all the way back to 9/11, right? There was $2.3 trillion, and that was a lot. That's still a lot of freaking money, but back then was a really, really lot of money that Rumsfeld told us was missing, and we're looking into it. But thankfully, Osama bin Laden went ahead and blew up the investigation at the Pentagon. So thankfully, we'll never find out what happened to those missing funds that Rumsfeld, with his financial responsibility, told the American people about. And it goes on.
I trust them. We'll get the audit. It'll be legit. Every penny will be accounted for, and everything will be fine.
Here's Ro Khanna, and I guess Ro Khanna's on the AIPAC payroll, so keep that in the back of your mind. But he grills them a little bit here about the military spending.
Do you know how much it will cost Americans in terms of their increased cost in gas and food over the next year because of the Iran war?
I would simply ask you what the cost is of an Iranian nuclear bomb.
I'm going to give you that opportunity.
I would simply ask you what you're playing gotcha questions about.
Hey, bro, I can't afford to put gas in my car to go to work to pay your taxes for your. But what about Iran's nuke? That's where we're at. Any criticism of this insanity is that, well, at least Iran's not nuking you.
Are you suggesting that Aardvark land doesn't have the right to exist, Sam?
Well, no, I would never suggest that. Max Blumenthal posted, and we've reported on this as well. Donald Trump Jr. and Laura Trump hold a 30% stake in Salem Media. That's all of your radio dial, by the way. Conservative talk network, Salem Media. Anyway, which is registered as a foreign agent for Aardvark land. So they're broadcasting Aardvark propaganda through Salem Media all over your radio dials all over America. Eric Trump's company has merged with an Aardvark land drone company, and Don Jr. is the top backer. The Trump family business empire has effectively merged with Aardvark land. And so this is a wonderful news. Let's watch this clip. anyone can do it. Kids, anyone. Extend, the Aardvark Land AI-powered killer drone company that recently merged with Eric Trump's construction firm, says their drones are so easy to operate, even a child can do it. Let's watch this clip. And so it's wonderful to know that we're so infiltrated by the aardvarks. You know what I mean? And yeah, what do we even say at this point? It's just beyond the pale, man.
Wow, amazing. So anyone can do it, really. Anyone can do it. Kids, anyone.
This is Extend, an Israeli company using AI-powered drones to carry out high-risk missions without putting operators in harm's way.
We've been battle-proven ever since we started. Bad actor inside a building. Traditionally, you had people around the building, someone going inside, walking between the rooms, holding guns. Using the Extend solution, you have a swarm. You have, let's say, 3 drones. One can fly above the building. One drone can break into the building, and another drone can actually go inside and scan the rooms and find the bad actor. These 3 drones can be controlled by basically a soldier or a security guard that doesn't have to physically be there.
Extend recently announced a $1.5 billion merger with US-based JFB Construction, backed by Eric Trump, forming a NASDAQ-listed autonomous robotics company, Extend AI Robotics.
Flying the drone is extremely simple and easy. Everyone can fly it within minutes. So we use this controller. It's called an MNF controller. It stands for Mark and Flies. And this is how I control the drone. Just point and the drone goes wherever I point on the screen. You're a natural. Wow. Oh my God. That's crazy.
I think the future of warfare is all about AI at the edge, allowing these drones and robots to actually operate at the edge, make the right decisions, or stop when they need to stop when things are not going in the right direction.
And straight to the right.
So that's great news, right? They took over a bunch of American radio stations here, and now they've merged up with Trump's companies to go ahead and continue the war effort there, Ruckus.
A weapon so easy a kid can use it. That's fantastic. A weapon of war used to kill people. So easy a kid can use it. Whereas most modern firearms, unless it's loaded and ready to go, is quite difficult for a child to use. I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, we'll go ahead and give them drones. Just give them the power of death and destruction. It's easy to use. It's fun. It's fun too, Sam. Let's not forget how fun it is. Got to make it fun.
Our gas prices are out of control here. I don't know how we're getting gouged by Rockefeller oil oligarchs. That's a clear explanation here. Take a look at the AAA national average for a gallon of gasoline here now. We're at $4 and essentially 30 cents, right? Rounded up to your third digit there. And so that's a big increase from yesterday, up about 13 cents. And so I don't see how. And then over here in California, we're right at $6, like $7.50, $8 for maybe $8 some places for diesel. And so, and of course, as we continue to report, it's all going to be passed down to the consumer for the transport of goods like this. I don't see how Republicans can win the midterms with this, with the gas prices like this, Ruckus.
It's not the gas prices that are going to cost them the midterms. It's the crazy libtards with the Trump derangement syndrome. Stop.
That's what it is.
We all know.
That's what it is. It's a damn
Trump
Democrat.
is saving America, and he's going to do a damn good job of it. He's going to finish the job while he can, even if he loses the midterms. He's got this. Trust in Trump.
You got me there. Okay. Drop site news reports here now. BP, British Petroleum, reported profits more than doubling in the first quarter of this year, beating expectations on the back of elevated oil prices driven by the Iran war. They're price gouging the hell out of the whole world. Meanwhile, J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warned that Norges Bank Investment Management annual conference in Oslo that, quote, the way it's going now, there will be some kind of bond crisis. You think Jamie Dimon knows a thing or two about the monetary system? There will be some kind of bond crisis, and we'll have to deal with, citing geopolitics, oil prices, and government deficits as compounding risks. I don't know. I would listen to Jamie Dimon, but what the hell do I know? Here's Trump on OPEC now.
That's by the way, the bond crisis, problem, reaction, solution. They already have the solution. The other guy has mentioned it a number of times. The Secretary of Scott Bessent. Is he the Treasury Secretary?
Treasury, yeah. Treasury.
Okay. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, so the bonds are going to be bought by the cryptocurrency the stable coin issuers are going to purchase the bonds that will save them from this crisis. So they already have the solution ready to go. That's why there's so much pressure on them to pass this clarity. Is that the one that they're trying to pass?
Mm-hmm.
There's two of them. One of them already passed. The other one they're trying to get through. I think it's the Clarity Act. So yeah, once that's solidified, then yes, they can have this great big crisis and it affects the bond market. But don't worry, we got a solution, everybody. Look, it's a freaking miracle. But now there's no such thing as cash or your credit card. But don't worry, nothing changed for you at home except you can't use cash anymore. And oh, hey, look at that. Your money is well, yeah, we're going to put a few restrictions here and there. But don't worry, trust us. Yeah, it's central bank digital currencies coming under the Trump dollar or whatever they're going to call it, the Patriot dollar. That's probably what it'll be called. Remember, I said that. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
Or the Liberty dollar.
I like that. There you go. Now you're thinking. Freedom dollar. There you go.
Freedom dollar. Indeed. All of that is coming. And yeah, and thankfully, Howard Lutnick and his firm and his sons at Cantor Fitzgerald will profit handsomely. And so we can at least be appreciative of that.
All of these people seem to be making a shit ton of money in these industries that are emerging as a solution to all of these problems that they may or may not be causing. But whether or not they're causing it, it sure is fortunate for them. What a coincidence. What a joy. What a side effect. Nobody saw that coming. Totally unexpected, Sam, right?
It's called American innovation.
It's called conflict of interest, anyways.
It's called straight up freaking stealing. Here is Trump today. Oh, the Artemis astronauts went into the White House. I didn't even follow it because I can't even stomach it anymore. But I'm sure they did some type of Masonic rituals and all this nonsense there, as they'd like to do. But here's Trump on the UAE leaving OPEC. Says it's great.
United Arab Emirates, the UAE, they pulled out of OPEC.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think it's great. Look, I know him very well, Mohammed, and very smart. And he probably maybe wants to go his own way. That's a good thing. I think ultimately it's a good thing for getting the price of gas down, getting oil down, getting everything down. They have it all. He's a great leader, actually. So no, I'm okay. They're having some problems in OPEC.
That can't be real. That wasn't real. That was AI. You're pulling my leg now.
No, it's
I'm
great.
waiting. You think you're doing this? You're going to throw in one every show, right? Was the totally fake story? Wait, no, that one was real too. What is happening?
Well,
this is crazy.
I asked Gronk here. I said, "What are the economic impacts on the petrodollar of the UAE leaving OPEC?" And the answer is minimal short-term impact accelerates long-term erosion of the petrodollar dominance. UAE exit effective May 1st, so like 2 days, right? Ends OPEC quota constraints, freeing it to potentially price oil in yuan or other currencies amid dollar liquidity risks, further fragmenting the U.S. dollar oil trade, i.e., the petrodollar. And that's from Fortune magazine. Petrodollar already down to 57% of reserves, faces high de-dollarization pressure through Gulf U.S. dollar pegs and $2 trillion plus U.S. investment limit immediate collapse. Trump said, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, I know. That's why, and he's not stupid. He understands how this works. I mean, I've heard him talk about how dangerous it would be if they were like, you could probably find him talking about how it would like that. We can't never have that happen. I'm going to do some research into this. This makes absolutely no sense for him to sit here and say, "Oh, this is great." I think, and he's, "Oh, they just want to go their own way." Hello, Iran wants to go their own way, buddy. Venezuela wanted to go their own way. Hello, anyways.
Cuba wants to go their own way, and we're
but Cuba, no, screw Cuba. We should just knock out their power and whatever.
Russia to stay in OPEC plus despite UAE exit, and so Russia is still hanging in there, but in OPEC plus. Iran's, this is what they were talking about, and it is true because they've weaponized the dollar through sanctions and a bunch of other actions against Iran. Iran's national rial currency hit a record low today of 1.8 million rial to $1. The new rate marks a 12.5% drop in the value from January level of 1.6 million to the dollar, and is likely to further fuel inflation. Report out of Dropsite News. So they are beating the shit out of Iran's economy, no doubt about that. Senior Iranian official Mohsen Razai, I believe I pronounced that correctly. This guy, he's it's not a, this guy, if you could make him out. You've seen this guy around. Anyway, it's a not very good video, but this character, you can make him out, right? You've seen that dude around talking his mess. Anyway, on Iranian TV earlier today, he said, "We will not tolerate a naval blockade. If the blockade continues, Iran will respond." That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's saying they got their finger on the trigger here now, so it's getting ready to kick off hot and heavy at any time. Iran's Navy chief, which they don't even have a Navy, so I don't even know what this guy's talking about, right? According to Trump, says soon will reveal a weapon they deeply fear right on their doorstep. Hope it doesn't give them a heart attack. So Iran's Navy chief, which they don't even have a Navy, has some secret weapon he's threatening here now. Just to let you know that.
It's the audit from the Fort Knox.
Report out of the Washington Post, and we need to follow up on this probably. They're saying more than 60% of the U.S. is covered by drought as impacts worsen. Maybe they could use some of these weather weapons for our own good? Nah, probably not. What do you think?
Well, they could. But are they going to? My guess is no.
This is for the thumbnail of the show here. Why I chose this thumbnail today. Let me throw it up there for everybody. If I can find it. Maybe I won't throw it up there. Thought I had it lined up.
With the Legos.
Yeah, the Lego. There it is. Here we go. Okay. So the reason I chose this thumbnail for today, right, from the Lego videos that are beating America in the propaganda war, because of this type of reporting. Out of Axios, Trump has spoken to Bibi every day this week, they say. Trump said he told Bibi to limit military action in Lebanon to, quote, surgical strikes and avoid a broader war. He has got to do it more surgically, not knocking down buildings. It is too terrible and makes Aardvarkland look bad. They don't care about killing the people, about displacing over 1 million Lebanese, the massacres. He don't care about that. It's about Aardvarkland's image, Ruckets. You see? Because we started out, and part of the propaganda lies that started the Iran war was Trump is going to liberate the Iranian people. And you see how much he cares about these people there in that region.
Now, granted, I know I've got Trump derangement syndrome, right? But I'd like to point out if this person, who happens to be a guy named Donald Trump, who happens to be the president of a country which happens to be called the United States of America, take all of that with a grain of salt. That's what they tell us anyways. The thing is, like, if he's willing to suggest to this person that, hey, you should commit your crimes in secret. That's the advice I give you. If I were in your position, if I were a world leader of a country engaged in military conflict, I would engage in lies, deception, and manipulation to cover your crimes. Now, I sure hope that he only gives this advice to other world leaders and that he would never do this himself, because I trust in President Trump. I am not a panicking. So there you go.
That's a good segue to this next report out of Axios. Trump on Aardvarkland President Herzog. He will be a national hero if he gives Bibi a pardon. He has a trial in the middle of a war. Give him a break.
Yeah, give the guy a break. Yeah, get him a Kit Kat bar. How about that? And then send his ass to prison.
Literally the most corrupt man in the world, Shadow President of America, Bibi Netanyahu, on trial for bribery and corruption in Aardvarkland, the most corrupt place in the world. So imagine that. And then Trump continually calling for his pardon. It's just truly amazing. And
we should pardon him for the corruption thing and give him a nice ticket, all expenses paid trip to a Hague court where he's tried for his crimes of genocide instead. Because the end result of that trial would probably make most people far happier than the end result of him being convicted of corruption, right?
He put out this video today, Ruckus.
Who put that out?
Bibi Netanyahu, Shadow President of America. Look, here's his official X account with the gray, with the old gray, I'm the most corrupt man in the world. There you go. Like, truly incredible. So he don't care. He don't even listen to his own advice from the IDF. They keep telling him, stop posting your war crimes on the internet. They refuse to. They keep posting their war crimes on the internet.
By the way, you said Trump talks to Bibi every single day. I got two.
That's according to a report from Axios. And Axios is a freaking aardvark mouthpiece. So
I know.
Take it for what it is.
I know, but I would believe that would be an official story. They want everyone to believe that Trump is talking to Bibi once, every day. But can he say the same about his wife or his children or anything? I mean, like, seriously, who else is he communicating with once a day? Like Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, maybe? Bibi, Netanyahu, anyways.
Little Mo, our Secretary of State. I don't know. We're in the middle of a freaking war. I
think that this story is completely made up. I think this is a fake story. I think Trump is not in contact with Bibi every day, that Trump is not advising Bibi to roll back on the stuff. This is exactly what he advised Bibi to do with the Gaza thing, remember, before he was elected a second time here. He was advising, if I were him, I would do it all in don't televise it. He said the exact same thing about the Palestinian issue there post October 7th. The worst tragedy to ever happen on the planet.
Everybody's telling them stop posting your war crimes, and they just can't stop.
But do you know why they made this story up? Because too many people know the truth that Bibi Netanyahu is no longer with us, because there still is not enough evidence to my satisfaction, proof of life that he's still around.
He doesn't
still
show
got all
up
the questions.
Yep,
exactly. So I think these types of stories are coming out, and even though there's all the rage, like, oh, this jerk and this and that, it's allowed as long as people still walk away thinking that Bibi's still alive. See? That's just my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
May very well be. Here's some.
Bibi, you're more, come down, come visit me, come see my house. I'll touch you, and even Jesus after his resurrection was like, "Here, touch me, I'm real." Why don't you do that, bro? Prove to everybody that you're real. Good luck.
Here's some hardcore lies and propaganda out of the State Department. Check out this clip.
President Trump just announced a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon.
Rubio in his meeting with the Lebanese and Israeli ambassadors, that's a big deal.
Those first direct talks they've had in decades, so they were saying that was positive. A truce in the Middle East now extended for Israel and Lebanon.
The meeting was the second high-level negotiation between the two countries since last week.
Trump is the architect, Rubio is the builder.
Good for them.
There's no ceasefire, and we'll get to, they're killing Lebanese right now and Palestinians. But here's a Lego propaganda video as we are losing the information and propaganda war to Lego videos here now.
You couldn't cage. Welcome to a kingdom built on glitter and disguise, where diamonds learn to sparkle just to cover up the lies. Smoke curls in the corners, painting stories on the wall. Power dressed in elegance, pretending not to fall. She stares into the mirror, counting every perfect flaw, while the silence in the reflection softly whispers what it saw. Scared of what's written, like a ghost they cannot run. No shadows deep enough to hide what's already begun. Erase it from the surface, try to make it disappear, but truth has its own rhythm and it's ringing loud and clear. Thousands of headlines painting over pain, a million quiet voices crying out in vain. They needed the chaos to blur every line, turning loss into power, every drop into design. Stop the show, can you feel it unwind? You can silence the stage, but not what's behind. The tide's coming closer, no more alibis. You can rewrite the story, but truth never dies. Was it fate in the fire or a carefully drawn line? Was the silence accidental or perfectly timed? Opening the gates while pretending they were closed. Every move calculated, every outcome already chose. You needed the noise just to soften the blow, turning pain into currency the whole world would know. Underneath the ruins, there's a voice still awake. Not just dust in the air, but the choices you make. Don't wrap it in glory, don't call it divine. When the cracks in the mirror are revealing the design, we see it now, what you tried to erase. Thousands of stories you tried to confine, but they echo forever through space and through time. You buried the truth, but it learned how to breathe. Now it rises in waves you can't ask to leave. Stop the show, it's already begun. No more hiding from what you've become. The tide's here now, no more disguise. You can rewrite the script, but truth never dies. The lights are on now. No more shadows left to hide. You change the names, but not the pattern. And patterns, they always return. violence doesn't end here.
What do you think about that?
I think there's a good wow. Is any of this even real? I can't.
No, it's all AI. It's all AI.
I know, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just this full-on Hollywood level production coming from both sides with their propaganda. It's like, is this normal? Is this what normally happens during war? I don't think so.
It is.
So, I'm really on the fence about it.
But the opposition never the
wrestling thing.
Afghanistan, Iraq, the most recent, and they didn't have any propaganda team like Iran does, for sure.
I know. That's why I'm like, I part of me just doesn't want to trust it. You know what I mean? I can't trust any of it, and it's all too good. And in particular, the emotional appeal from the Iranian propaganda and why the Legos. I'm trying to do a little research into this. I was looking at the history of the Lego company. So far, I'm coming up with a giant blank here, but there might be there's got to be something to it. Why they're using the Legos, I don't know, but maybe. I mean, the word Lego is let's play, I guess, is the loose translation for the guy who invented it. But anyways, yeah. But creativity, design, building. But let's play. I'm like, oh, play, theater, war. I can't figure it out. Why the Lego obsession?
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll have to continue. Hey, Iran, if you're out there listening, tell us why you're using our State Department. You guys know America. Give us something. Throw us a bone. Tell us why they're using Legos in these propaganda videos.
And I sure hope it's not like we were to travel to Iran and ask them about these Lego videos, and they're like, "What Lego videos? This is the first time we're ever seeing this." And be like, "Oh shoot, they're faking everything! Quick, abort!"
Here's again, Hegseth. What do you do with a drunken Hegseth being called out for war crimes today by our Congress? So at least they have some good rhetoric, not much action behind them. But let's take a look. Testifying to the Armed Services Committee there.
Now, quickly, on March 13th in a press conference, you said, "We will give them no quarter, no mercy." In order for no quarter or no survivors is a war crime under the Geneva Conventions. You understand that's murder. Do you stand by that statement?
The Department of War fights to win, and we ensure that our warfighters have the rules of engagement necessary to be as effective
so
as
just
humanly
to be clear,
possible.
you called Democratic members of Congress to be tried for sedition for reminding our troops to follow the law. But when you tell them to commit a war crime, you stand by yourself.
For insinuating that the laws that we're giving them are unlawful.
Now,
murder is as murder does.
Dude. Congress knows. That's the Armed Service Committee knows exactly what you just saw. And that's the truth of the matter. Report out of Axios again. Yeah, maybe all this is just fake news out of Axios. They say CENTCOM has drafted a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes on Iran to break the negotiation stalemate. I saw a report that don't you worry about Iran and not having their economy shut down because of the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. They can't export oil. They're shipping it across on land through Pakistan. I don't know if that report's true. I saw it out there. It may very well be true, as they are allies with Pakistan. So continuing,
we should just team up with our greatest ally in the region and just take over the whole area just to be safe.
Yesterday, Aardvark Land carried out a double tap strike in southern Lebanon that killed 9 people, including 3 civil defense rescuers. Today, it published footage of it blowing up an entire residential block in the town as part of a broader demolition campaign carried out across southern Lebanon, as we continue to report to you here now. And that was the video posted by Bibby that we showed earlier today, and that was a report out of Drop Site. So 1.24 million, quite a few people, Lebanese now face food insecurity due to the ongoing attacks by Aardvark land. That's quite a few people that are facing food insecurity here now. According
Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. Holy moly.
The food security situation in Lebanon has sharply worsened since Aardvark land escalated its, you could just say since the ceasefire, right? Anyhow, it's so tragic. Continuing, has sharply worsened since Aardvark land escalated its attacks on March 2nd, according to the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, the world's leading authority on food crises. And here's a little, and that was posted again by Drop Site News. Here's a little graph they put up so you could see phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. And so a whole lot of them are going to be, and then, hey, Aardvark land could set up a humanitarian aid center, and then when the Lebanese go there for food, shoot the kids in the face, and then say how bad you are for criticizing that. You know what I mean?
Cool. Who put out that report, by the way, about the food stuff?
Who put that? Drop Site News.
No, there was a food expert.
Oh, where they're pulling the data from? It's called Integrated Food Security Phase Classification.
Got it. Yeah, somebody sanctioned them. Stat.
Drone them, sanction them. Hezbollah MP says resistance will thwart any effort by Aardvark land to establish a security belt. Because remember, they want to take the land to the Litani River and then say, that's our security belt. It's actually, we're stealing their land, but to build the greater Aardvark land project. But yeah, Hezbollah says no go. So they're going to continue to fight. Hezbollah announced 2 operations today in response to Aardvark land ceasefire violations and attacks on southern Lebanon. So there you go.
Do they have tunnels, and do they use people as shields or something? Probably.
Sure they do.
That's the next thing. Yeah.
Sure they do. And they're cutting babies' heads off too. Lebanese health.
Well, everyone knows. I mean, from a young school age, we were taught how Lebanese are grown up. All they want to do is just murder Jews and Americans. We all know that. That's all the Lebanese do.
They're actually a very diverse population with like Muslims, Christians. They're secular.
That's fake news. Who are you with? CNN? Fake news. Fake news.
They're actually extremely European, but yeah, they're dirty Muslim terrorists, you know, like Fox News tells you. Lebanese Health Ministry reports 62 killed in Aardvark land airstrikes since April 16th ceasefire. That we just played you the video of the State Department telling us how great the ceasefire was. It's just like, if you watch mainstream, if you're getting you wouldn't know any of this, right? If you're watching NBC nightly news, you would not know any of this. That's the value Weaponized News is providing for you here now today and every day. All right. So just let me, you literally would not know any of this, Ruckus, because you just saw the State Department propaganda. There's a ceasefire. Everything's going great. No, actually, they've killed 62 people since the April 16th ceasefire.
And hey, if you happen to watch Fox News, not only do you not know this, but you also know how awesome it is to kill people. It's great.
They'll be cheering it on. Oh, what's Thiessen, right? Thiessen out of the Washington Compost. He's over there saying that kill everybody, basically. I mean, it's just, that's the propaganda on mainstream cable news. It's insane. And we're over here saying, peace, bro. Stop killing people on all sides. Stop killing people. Stop killing the Aardvarks. A bunch of Aardvarks hurt too. We got those reports. But back to this report. 62 Lebanese killed in Aardvarkland airstrikes since the ceasefire, April 16th. And those include, they break it down here. No, they just break it down by area, but a bunch of kids, 5 children in one area, 3 rescue workers in another area, and in another area, another child. And here's the civil defense radical terrorists, right? I mean, they're like, what, firemen and like emergency medical technicians, paramedics. So they look like terrorists, don't they? Look like white dudes, like 2 of them, right? But what the hell, close enough to freaking dirty Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas.
I thought the whole Gaza thing taught everybody how this works. Yes. This is the military engagement. We engage, we kill ambulance workers, rescue workers, aid workers, school teachers and school children, doctors and patients and children. Did I mention children already? We also kill children. We like to kill children. There's also the children, all that, you know. But anyways, yeah, this is what they do. This is who and what they do. Oh, and the media. They love to target the media as well, don't they, Sam?
They're killing the hell out of that one blonde chick. I forget her name now. Reporting on the ground for Dropsite News in Lebanon. She better watch her butt, man. I'm telling you. Just because you're a blondie, they don't give a damn. Okay, and she's right there reporting on the ground, and it's like, hey, it takes some balls. Take some balls to do that. Especially when they're targeting. They killed over 250 journalists. I don't even know how many in Lebanon. That's in Gaza. I think we're up to a dozen, something like that, in the last couple of weeks here now in Lebanon. Okay, continuing. Aardvarkland Radio reports that, and see, their side's suffering casualties too. All sides stop it, and killing and injuring people, bad. Okay, like how are we can't be bad if. I can't be considered bad for having that sentiment, or what the hell kind of evil world do we live in? You know what I mean? Like, my God.
Well, if it's at that point, you have to be like, well, then I accept it. I own that. I'm the bad guy for that reason.
For saying stop killing people.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's if not killing people makes me the bad guy, call me the bad guy. I guess I don't want to be the good guy if the good guy is the one killing people.
Aardvarkland Radio reports that more than 173 Aardvarkland soldiers have been injured since the ceasefire against Lebanon, including 11 with serious injuries. They're moving on that whole area, and Hezbollah, and like I don't even know what the hell the Lebanon army's doing. Like I don't even know. Like they stand down and maybe they'll fight. I don't know, but Hezbollah is the one putting up the front of resistance against the occupation there by the
another familiar thing that we see playing out in these little scenarios, isn't it? Where it's like there's like an official government that seems to like kind of be wishy-washy and kind of play
ball.
Puppets.
They're called puppets. The Lebanese government,
right? But then the people have their representation via these resistance groups, which is exactly what they are.
Via the militias.
Yeah. These are the heroes in the movies that we watch and we root for, the rebels, right? But in real life, those are the bad guys.
Well, those are the terrorists. The First Amendment here. You know what I mean? The First Amendment, and like you said, but we're so propagandized that those terrorists. So one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, right? So there's another flotilla, the global Samud flotilla, is trying to reach Gaza with some aid, and it was intercepted today by the Aardvarkland Navy in international waters before they even got into friggin' Aardvarkland waters. And so they will literally go to the ends of the ocean to stop aid from getting to Gaza. Ruckus, it's truly incredible.
Well, I mean, yeah, Terrorists, food, terrorists, Sam, the Dow.
The Dow. To humanize all this, and we try to have some gallows humor. None of this is funny. It's extremely tragic and evil. Here's a 3-year-old little girl aardvarks killed, Lebanese. Aardvark gun killed 3-year-old baby Mila Zayat on her home in southern Lebanon, along with her mother. So there you go. To put a face on it, to put a human face on it and humanize these people, the Lebanese.
What sucks is it's easier to just accept that fact that they just did that, rather than learning for yourself, doing a little research. Well, why would they do that? Why would they kill a 3-year-old little girl? What could they possibly think in their little demented brains that would justify such a thing? And when you go down that rabbit hole, life gets far more depressing. And so just accept the fact that they just pretend that it's collateral damage or something, and it's far less devastating to the human soul, rather than the truth is that they deliberately target these people. They honestly justify this with their chosen people garbage rhetoric. It's disgusting.
It's ritualistic blood sacrifices is what it is. And they're serving their Talmudic God. And so that's exactly what's going on here. Aardvark Land approves 126 new illegal settlement units in the occupied West Bank. And so everybody tells them it's a war crime, don't do it. They say, we don't care. They shoot the UN all the time, right? Smotrich announced. Smotrich said the move sends a message that settlers are here to stay, adding, this is just the beginning. And so these settlers, these ultra-Zionists, they beat the hell out of a nun in Jerusalem. And so she probably had it coming. You think, Ruckus? A new report out of Drop Site News here. Christian nun assaulted in Jerusalem as Aardvark Land attacks continue across the city. A nun affiliated with the French School of Biblical and archaeological research was attacked yesterday in Jerusalem. The instructor's director said, condemning the unprovoked and sectarian assault. A man approached her and struck her, causing her head to bruise and face injuries that required medical treatment. Aardvark Land police said a 36-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of carrying out the assault. The incident comes amid continued Aardvark Land military and settler attacks across Jerusalem. The Jerusalem governorate reported multiple raids today in Silwan, Iswani, and Ada, while officials said demolition orders were issued for homes in Ras Al Amand. They're same routine, level the place. And so did this nun have it coming, Ruckus? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I guess in their eyes, payback, right? Because, Jesus and Christianity kind of destroyed their way of life and literally decimated the original city of Jerusalem in approximately 70 AD. But hey, that's just historically speaking. What do I know? I'm not going to go there. But yeah, it's pretty sick. But yeah, so we've seen many reports of the way that some of these, as they call them, settlers. What an interesting, fun term that is.
BBC
right?
called them ultra-Zionists.
I would call them invaders. What was it called when somebody breaks into your house or steals your property? Well, yeah, those are settlers. Yeah, sure. I guess that was the Americans were that. We were the American settlers when we came and did that to the natives here, right? So it's not like we're any better, unfortunately. Yeah, they spit on Christians and they beat them up and they kill them and do horrible stuff. But yeah, we just overlook that because it's okay. Because for now, they're useful idiots to us Christian Zionists who want these guys to hurry up and build their third temple so I can get raptured the heck out of here and go to heaven. Oh my God, this poor lady! Wow.
So she probably had it coming. Like you said, she's a dirty Christian. So there you go. Aardvark land forces detained and interrogated approximately 140 Palestinians across the occupied West Bank. We showed you that. They had them they had hoods over their head, right? And they're frog marching them like this all throughout the week, including men, women, and children. Yeah, so just shakedowns is what it is. They go around and shake you down, even women and children, for the crime of being, essentially. The shakedowns.
Would they do that if you were wearing like some sort of special little hat on your head?
No, it's only the people who live there because they're clearing the area for the Greater Aardvark Land Project. So they gotta get the people out of Jerusalem, out of the occupied West Bank.
If only there was a word for doing that to a race of people. What could we call that?
It's ethnic cleansing.
Genocide? Oh, ethnic. That's a good one too. Yeah. Okay. You pick one.
Extremist Aardvark settlers group called Hilltop Youth, sanctioned by several countries, is still monetizing content on Meta platforms despite violent activity. Meanwhile, Palestinian accounts are heavily restricted or removed, including those of journalists, according to a report out of Al Jazeera. And so that's nice that Mark Zuckerberg at Meta would allow them, the Hilltop Youth settler group, to continue their monetization on the Meta platform. Amazing. All right, Ruckus.
Who owns Meta? Mark, what's his last name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, okay, cool. That's an Italian name, right?
I thought it was Swedish, but maybe Italian. Okay, that's all the reporting we got. Let's just go through the headlines and then we'll get on out of here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us on this Wednesday edition. Let's check out the latest headlines if anything dramatic happened here while we're on the air from Iran International.
Wait, breaking news, Sam. I got one for you. We got a major major announcement in case you missed it. Timcast is rebranding to Israelcast. That's fantastic news. Yeah. That's legit, by the way. I thought it was a troll. I thought somebody hacked his account. That guy's lost his mind. But anyways.
Who's right? Who's paying you? And so,
almighty shekel. Oops.
There you go. It's that's our alternative media, by the way.
Also, real quick, I thought this was very interesting. This is a thing, apparently. I support this whole. Don't do this, kids. But if you do, how awesome. But yes, TikTokers are doing a trend now where they break into. Well, they don't break into, but they go into the Scientology buildings and see how far they get in there, running around filming themselves before they get thrown out. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's hilarious to me for some reason.
I've seen that. I've actually seen that. I would not recommend doing that because the Scientology is a very serious cult, and they will get you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mess with those people, honestly.
There was a reason I brought this up because I guess they're pressing charges. They want to call this a hate crime. That I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So the people running around the buildings are a hate crime. You can't make this stuff up.
Well, you're attacking the religion, is what they're saying, right? Attacking them because of their religion.
How silly.
That's what would make it a hate crime.
Right, because where in their religion does it say no running in the building, sir?
But I'm just saying, forget what they'll tell the police about you. I'd say don't mess with these guys. They'll send out their own secret agents after you. Seriously. Anyhow,
yeah, they're wacky.
They're wacky, man. They're wacky, and they're serious. They mean serious business. They got their own little private police force. You know what I mean? So anyhow, Iran international headlines here. Trump says we'll keep Iran under blockade until it agrees to deal, until gas prices hit $5 a gallon. USS Gerald Ford conducting operations in Red Sea, CENTCOM. Iran shifted to missile deterrence strategy after strikes, U.S. Senator says. Trump reshapes image, Strait of Trump on social, on his True Social. I guess he posted a meme like this or something. Iran war cost to the United States may reach $50 billion more than the Pentagon estimate, according to a report at CNN. That's shocking that the Pentagon underestimated the cost of this war. Sky Dio announces $3.5 billion investment in U.S. drone manufacturing. And those are the latest headlines out of Iran International. Let's see Al Jazeera, and then we'll head over to the comments. Let's see. Junk advice. Iran mocks U.S. economic pressure campaign as oil prices surge. Kind of true. And again, they're I don't think you guys can see it on the split, but right there, they got a clean road right through Pakistan, right there. You know what I mean? And so they can definitely ship oil that way. Okay.
And drugs, but
whatever.
anyways.
Yeah, they can ship whatever through there, right? They don't need the Strait of Hormuz. They need it. It helps, but because they have a bunch of facilities set up like that to ship through there, but they can have an alternative route through Pakistan. OPEC in serious crisis mode as officials gather in Vienna. Trump said it was great. Petrodollar, yeah, it's wonderful. Everything's wonderful for Trump.
They just want to go their own way.
Trump says U.S. may reduce troops in Germany. Why do we even have troops in Germany in the first place? Oh, the Constitution said, it's in the Constitution, you must have troops in Germany. Got it. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. UAE quits OPEC. We reported that. That was yesterday, actually. Went a little bit more detail today on it. Not looking good for the petrodollar, but Trump says everything's wonderful. And so don't be a panicking. Trust in Trump. But YouTube, Trump is the most. We hate Trump, YouTube. All right. Let's see. Over to the Odysee, Fat Bob. Shout out to Fat Bob. He said, Operation Frequent Wind sounds like my diet. Who wasn't Jim Morrison's father involved in the Gulf of Tonkin story? Yes, indeed he was. Admiral Morrison was the one that reported the hoax, the made-up story. That was a Gurr. Strange coincidence, right? And then they went on to, of course, be a big part of the hippie peace revolution, whatever you want to call it. Summer of Love, 60s, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. Let's see. Highland, Fat Bob, John, Gurr. Thank you guys for tuning in there on the Odysee. Not much chatting, a little bit going back and forth there. Fat Bob said that really, I can't say that. John says City of London banking controls U.S. and the Rothschild project in Palestine. Indeed. Great point, John. Instead of just hating aardvarks all day, take a look at who's pulling their strings. And we've gone over their motivation. They got their own problems, but they got a financial backer there. You know what I mean? That's allowing them to carry out their tyranny. John said, I like when people agree with me. He says, I agree, Sam. The misinformation and propaganda is clumsy and much more than is believable. Fat Bob says Homer Simpson's best moment ever, looking down at a broken-hearted daughter, gently saying, "I hope you learned your lesson. Never help anyone." Oh my gosh.
You tried and failed. The lesson learned is never try.
John says, Ike, they want us to know they are lying and rubbing our noses in it, right? Isn't that like some part of their cult magic? I believe it is. For sure. For sure. For those with eyes to see, though, right? And in the one-eyed man is king in the land of the blind. So, and they get off on the masses, the large majority out there, not seeing it at all. And those that can see it, right, they get off on us seeing it and literally laughing. Oh, you see it, you can't do nothing about it, right? You're going to do jack about it. You couldn't anyway if you wanted to. So there you go. Wowzers. Yeah, they're working on many levels, right? That's why they're the social engineers in control of the world because they know what they're doing. All right, friends, thank you for tuning in and chatting it up on the Odysee. Thank you for tuning in on X, Kick, Twitch, Bitchute. I think we're off of Twitch today and we're on Substack. So if you view live streams on Substack, I just barely sorted out how to work it, and I think it works, but they're still in like beta mode. So anyhow, shout out to Substack if you're listening over there. And we'll rework it. What I do on the Substack to let everybody know the value of becoming a subscriber on Substack is I go ahead and give you an AI summary of the transcript of the show. And then there's like, it does 4 AI auto cuts. And so you can access those as well for the like 2 minutes or less clips if you don't want to hear the whole long show. And also the links to almost everything we talk about are provided there for documentation and your further research purposes. So there's all the value over there at Substack. All right. Give me that like, share, subscribe, push the notification button, and also give Ruckus the like, share, subscribe, and push the notification button on all of his channels. You can find them right there, AC_Wordslinger on the X, alternatecurrentradio.com. Okay, let's go over to the YouTube and the Rumble. See if anybody's over there. A few people. Shout out to Chloe, Jan, Zio, Master. Always, that's got to be a bot, right? They're always trying to spam us with their crypto crap. Got to be a bot, Master. Okay, let's see. Real people there. Chloe says, damn, that sucks. Mine goes off sometimes. Yeah, they're talking amongst themselves. Let's see. Jan says, chemo is bad. Yeah, it is. It's horrific. It is horrific. Jan said they wanted to do radiation, but I refused. That was in 2004. I gave God all the glory and praise, not the doctors. Wow, that's a great story there, Jan. Bless you. You are blessed. Chloe says, I will never do radiation or chemo. Neither will I. Neither will I, man. I'm going to run from the cure. Wink, wink. Yeah, it's horrific. Indeed, I agree with you guys. 100%. Let's see. D2T. Thanks for jumping in. He's always trying to hit on Chloe there. Maybe they can spark up a relationship. I don't know. Let's see here. But they seem at least cordial and civil. Mac on the YouTube says it's a voodoo war on hyperbole. Snow says streaming right now, but linking and saying hi because I'm built different. Wow. Great shout out there from Snow. Thank you very much. We need to get him on to explain his saga fighting hackers and how he actually got his account back that was hacked on X. That would be that would be a great public service for this audience in case that ever happens to you. It's 100% pharmakia, Jan says. Indeed. Let's see. Quite a bit of banter. Appreciate that in the chat amongst the listeners. Let's see here. Keeping it going. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Ruckus, for joining us on this Wednesday edition of Weaponized News. Any final thoughts before we sign off here, Ruckus?
Yeah, don't step on any Legos, kids. That hurts like heck. Thanks for having me.
As always, everybody do your own research. Peace, love, and freedom. Speak out and take action. Have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. And we'll see you back here on Thursday for more Weaponized News. Let's pray for peace.